Well, if you fly big ships like I do, you're going to need a lot of fuel. And I don't really make anything else. So let's take a look at my industry and how I make fuel. Maybe it's for you. Let's check it out. All right, welcome everybody to my Sky City. Let's jump down here. We're going to go all the way onto the other side of the platform where we will hit the elevator to go down into my fuel industry. Here's a new scanner barge I just put together. Infidel is the creator. It's on the creator's site. Video review likely coming sometime soon. These are going to be in a video review soon too. The Lodges M and L class, the S and XS are on the way. Beautiful ships. They fly amazing by Ragnok, R-A-G-N-O-K. They're also on the DU site. So let's take a look here at my fuel industry and what it looks like to make fuel one way. I'm just going to show you one way. This isn't necessarily the right way or the wrong way. It's the way I do it. So here we've got our tier 1 deposit. Let's go ahead. I wonder if I go into build mode. There we go. Yeah, we can still get all of the links up. Okay. So let's take a look here. We've got our deposit, which all these containers are linked to that hub. That hub feeds all of these refiners. These refiners puke out into that medium container. Seems a little silly to have one little medium container feeding with a bunch of refiners feeding into it, but that's where the transfer units up here come into play. So these transfer units pull out of that box and shoot them into their respective ore deposits, if that makes any sense. So basically, as this thing starts to fill up, these kick on, they pull stuff out and put it where I want it to go. Let's go over here. Let's get out of build mode. And we'll go back into build mode actually, because our hydrogen and oxygen deposits, and those are XL expanded containers, so they hold quite a bit. So I don't build anything, so I actually do use hydrogen and oxygen quite a bit. So fortunately for me, some org members have factories which overflow. I go pick it up, I put it in here, I get to make fuel. It's lovely. So here we have the way I feed my chemical industry. Let's get out of here. Okay, so we talked about the boxes over there on the far right, the tier 1 deposits going into the refiners. Refiners spit into that medium container. Medium container gets pulled, contents get pulled out of the... Actually, let's take a look at one of these because that would probably help. And this is, what do you call it? Post, words are hard. Post patch 0.23. Oh my God, say that fast. I had a friend come over. He activated all of these here for me, right? So these are running infinite. And in the schematic bank, you have your schematic for what you want to create. In the transfer unit, you don't need a schematic, but it does have a quote-unquote schematic bank in that you have to tell it what you want. So here we have it. It's got the, it's pulling pure aluminum. And we can see it's pulling from that hub, putting it into my aluminum bin, right? So the schematic, you would just search for like pure iron, right? Pure iron, if I wanted to load that and then set it up to do its thing. And linking the way it works now is really nice. Whatever you link from and to is where it's going. And then wherever you link from that one to wherever else, it goes that way. So you don't have to really, right click and say link from or link to or any of that goofy stuff anymore. All right, back down here to where we have the chemical industry. Because Nitron requires silicon and carbon, I just have my hydrogen and oxygen just directly connected. It's not going to do anything unless these can get carbon and silicon. So these units down here guess what? They do carbon and silicon. So if I wanted to make some nitron real quick, let's just do a quick run of, I don't know, 5. Let's fire that up and fire this up. I also had a friend boost my nitron fuel. So in just a second, you're going to see those things light up green because those transfer units are pulling silicon and carbon. There goes one. The other will follow shortly. They are pulling from the stacks that I have. There goes the other. And then that shoots way over there. They're pulling from these stacks that I've got the silicon and carbon pures. So hopefully that makes sense. Leave a comment down below if you're confused. But because X1 through 4, these are not fully boosted yet. I got a buddy working on that. Because these only require oxygen, hydrogen, and then whatever pure it is that you're making. In this case, sodium makes X1, which is natron. I've got it set up a little differently. So let's go back into build mode. Well, we are already on our link tool. So you can see that from these links way over here, I've got them linked direct to the hydrogen and oxygen containers. Well, if I just linked from my pure where the refiners go into, this would just start making all kinds of crazy amounts of fuel. And I want to throttle how much I'm making at one time. So I do have some natron processing. That's what's going on here. So I deposit. All right. It shoots out. You can see the arrows. It goes into the refiners. Similarly, refiners go into this medium container, right? And the medium container feeds into transfer units. The transfer units transfer down to here. So I've got one for each type of pure of T2, and it goes down in here. I just kind of bulk put T2 down. Maybe I'll expand this out kind of like I've got over here, but anyway, so what's going on here is this box, some of the refined pures in T2 provide T1 byproducts. So I want those to go where they need to go. So we've got iron and I think it's carbon goes over there. Let's get a little closer. There we go. Iron, right? So that's going to get pulled out and go down into there. So as it refines, it's just going to pull the iron and the carbon out. It's going to also pull the hydrogen and oxygen out and shoot it, over there. Actually, or does it? It does produce hydrogen and oxygen. Anywho, so getting back to what's going on down here. If I wanted to make some space fuel, you can see I've got this set up for sodium. So let's go ahead and move maybe 25 units in. So I've got this linked to that bin right there. And then this bin links to all of my different X-type fuels. So as that transfer unit, I would likely have 4 here. This one's set up for X2. I would likely have 4, but I would just say, look, I want X amount of units to go in here. This is already linked to the hydrogen and oxygen. And then it's going to see that, sodium just showed up. So let's go ahead and make some fuel, which it is. You can see it's turned green. So now if we go all the way over here into the fuel bin, you can see that we are making fuel. It's not, super, super fast by any stretch of the imagination. I will likely add more refiners, more chemical industries. But when you fly a lot of ships, you need a lot of fuel. And this is how I make it. So hope you found this useful. I'll see you next time. And there you have it. A basic fuel refinery with a little bit of pizzazz for making both Nitron and X1 through 4 fuels. If you found this video useful, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, helps me out, helps me bring more videos like this to you. And until next time, fly dangerous. We'll see you around.